Welcome to Unity Radiant Light. It's Sunday, August 31st, 2025. And today I'm going to be talking about the missing piece. I'm Reverend Cherie Ruffo. We'd like to thank Joe and Teo for the opening prayer and special music today by Candida Rose. So the missing piece, what are we going to be looking at with that? What comes up for you when I say that, as soon as I say that phrase, the missing piece? We'll be talking about that today. So, good morning, everyone. Happy Labor Day weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful one and enjoying this beautiful weather we're having. And it's such a joy to be back with you today as we continue to explore the deep truths of our spiritual nature. We're going to be covering affirmations. We're going to be covering a lot of different things this morning. So, I'm very happy to be here. So, today's lesson is called The Missing Piece. And many of you know Shel Silverstein as the author of The Giving Tree and other whimsical yet profound children's fables. In fact, as I was looking at that for this talk, I was thinking that could be a great series, just talking about the children's fables. His book, The Missing Piece, is a simple, playful, but yet it contains a truth that speaks directly to our spiritual journey. So this morning, the first thing we're going to have you do is watch a short video of the story together, and then we'll dive into the metaphysical lessons that it offers us. Let me just pull it up. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, you guys. I'm having a little difficulty here. Here we go. Enjoy.
The Missing Piece by Shel Silverstein. It was missing a piece, and it was not happy. So it set off in search of its missing piece. And as it rolled, it sang this song. Oh, I'm looking for my missing piece. I'm looking for my missing piece. Heidi-ho, here I go, looking for my missing piece. Sometimes it baked in the sun, but then the cool rain would come down. And sometimes it was frozen by the snow, but then the sun would come out and warm it again. And because it was missing a piece, it could not roll very fast, so it would stop to talk to a worm or smell a flower. And sometimes it would pass a beetle. And sometimes the beetle would pass it. And this was the best time of all. And on it went over oceans. Oh, I'm looking for my missing piece, over land and over seas. So grease my knees and fleece my bees. I'm looking for my missing piece. Through swamps and jungles, up mountains and down mountains, until one day, lo and behold, I found my missing piece, it sang. I found my missing piece, so grease my knees and fleece my bees. I found my... Wait a minute, said the piece. Before you go greasing your knees and fleecing your bees, I am not your missing piece. I am nobody's piece. I am my own piece. And even if I was somebody's missing piece, I don't think I'd be yours. Oh, it said sadly. I'm sorry to have bothered you. And on it rolled. It found another piece, but this one was too small. And this one was too big. This one was a little too sharp. And this one was too square. One time it seemed to have found the perfect piece, but it didn't hold it tightly enough and lost it. Another time it held too tightly and it broke. So on and on it rolled, having adventures, falling into holes, and bumping into stone walls. And then one day it came upon another piece that seemed to be just right. "Hi," it said. "Hi," said the piece. "Are you anybody else's missing piece?" "Not that I know of." "Well, maybe you want to be your own piece?" "I can be someone's and still be my own." "Well, maybe you don't want to be mine." "Maybe I do." "Maybe we won't fit." "Well, hmm, mmm. It fit! It fit perfectly! At last! At last! And away it rolled, and because it was now complete, it rolled faster and faster, faster than it had ever rolled before, so fast that it could not stop to talk to a worm or smell a flower, too fast for a butterfly to land on. But it could sing its happy song. At last it could sing, "I found my missing piece." And it began to sing, "I found my missing piece, I found my missing piece, increase my mission, please my mission, I found." Oh my! Now that it was complete, it could not sing at all. "Aha," it thought. "So that's how it is." So it stopped rolling. And it sat the piece down gently and slowly rolled away. And as it rolled, it softly sang, "Oh, I'm looking for my missing piece. I'm looking for my missing piece. Heidi-ho, here I go, looking for my missing piece."
There's so much we can unpack here with this, talk about, because there's so many metaphysical teachings in this. It's a really rich story. But we know in the story we meet a circle rolling along in life, searching for what it thinks is its missing piece. And sometimes the circle rolls slowly, sometimes not at all. It believes if it can just find that missing piece, then it'll finally be whole, complete, and at peace. Does that sound familiar to you? Does that resonate with you at all? How often do we say to ourselves, if I could just get this new job, if I could just find the right partner, if my body would just heal, if I just had a little more money, if I could just lose the weight and be the perfect size, whatever it is that you might say for this. Imagine if we finally get into that one missing piece, we're going to have that wholeness that we've always sought for. But the circle eventually discovers that it could roll along perfectly fine without it. In fact, it rolls better, freer, and more joyfully without carrying the burden of searching. In unity, we affirm something very radical and powerful. And you know what I'm going to say. We are already whole and complete expressions of God. Right now. Nothing needs to be added to us. Nothing can be taken away from our divine essence. And really importantly, wholeness is not dependent upon our circumstances. As Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, once wrote, man is the inlet and the outlet of all there is in God. And that means that all the life, all the love, all the wisdom, and all the supply of the universe already flows through us. There is nothing missing. So the circle's journey mirrors our own. The realization that that wholeness is our identity. It's not our destination. It's not something we're trying to arrive at. It's our identity. We already have it. And sometimes it may have the appearance of not being whole or complete. But that's when we need to step back into our principles, take a deep breath, and understand that I am already whole. And even though we affirm our wholeness, we often get it in our own way. We can do our affirmations, our denials. We did a couple months on a series for this, our prayers, our visualization. But then instead of resting in faith, we keep digging up the seed we planted to check to see if it's growing. And I can tell you all about my garden this summer, as I wanted to pull those seeds up and look and like, are the roots fine? I had an aloe plant that was having a little bit of a problem, and I really wanted to pull it up to check to see if the roots were okay. And it's fine. I just had faith. I talked to it, let it dry out, and it's great. It's growing again. I once heard someone say affirmations are like planting a seed, and the allowance is like letting the rain do its work. Because allowance is about trusting God's timing, God's wisdom, and God's unfolding in our lives. As I, talked about in the beginning of the service, as this topic kind of morphed on me, I was also experiencing that in my life, feeling out of control this week, feeling like things weren't maybe going in the direction I wanted them to. And when I stopped and I allowed things to happen again, I have options, things that I never considered possible. That's God unfolding. And that's what we want. So sometimes the missing person isn't a person or a condition or a thing. Sometimes the missing piece is our own willingness to allow the good that is already there to manifest. And let's take a deep breath on that one, right? Because it's that allowing that can be stressful. Can you relate to this? You pray for prosperity, but then you check your bank account 10 times a day, thinking maybe, God, are you listening? Did you get my prayer? Or you affirm healing, but then spend all day worrying about the symptoms. That over-efforting is like pushing the pause button on spirit's flow. And we don't want to do that. And when we say allowance, then would be taking our foot off the brake. It's about remembering that God is the source, not me, not my job. And the only thing that I need to do, and the only thing that you need to do, is to align, to allow, and to give thanks, knowing that everything is okay. This is a real lesson in faith. And doing that can be, but it's a really magnificent lesson, because sometimes the answers are even better than we ever could have possibly thought. And at the very heart of this practice is self-love. If I believe I'm unworthy, I will always be searching for missing pieces. If I believe I'm not enough, I will never allow myself to rest in wholeness. But when I love myself, truly love myself as a child of God, then I can trust that what I need is already being provided. That is the truth of prosperity. We're going to be starting our prosperity series in 2 weeks that we do every fall. We're going to be looking at new prosperity truths. And all of it has the same message. It's not about chasing. It's about receiving. It's not about lack. It's about recognition. And it's not about someday. It's about now. So maybe the circle in Silverstein's story wasn't missing a piece after all. Maybe it was just missing the awareness of its own wholeness. And isn't that true for us? When we stop searching outside and turn within, we realize that the missing piece has been with us all along. And I'd like to close this morning in memory of 2 great teachers who made their transition yesterday. Wayne Dyer's been gone for 10 years, and the founder of Hay House, Louise Hay, has been gone for 8 years. And we know gone but not forgotten. Magnificent teachers. and still amazes me as they left on the same day, 2 years apart. As I was reading Reed Tracy, the president and CEO of Hay House, his notes, he writes a Sunday note this morning, he was talking about it. And he mentioned that they were so different in personality, but in spirit, they were aligned. They were generous, deeply human, and devoted to helping others remember who they really are. From Wayne used to remind us, don't die with your music still in you. And Wayne believed that we all came into this life with something unique to share, a kind of soul assignment. One of the greatest tragedies, he used to say, is that when the people reach the end of their lives, never having truly followed that inner calling, whether your music is music like Candida or a book, a business, or simply living true to yourself. The point is not to wait. Don't wait for that missing piece. Don't wait for every circumstance to be perfect. I have all of Wayne Dyer's books, and he often reminded us, you're not a human having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And you are here to share what only you can give. You have something in you that is unique to you, and only you can give that and share that with us. So don't wait for that missing piece. Don't wait for that perfect time, that perfect opportunity. Be authentically you. And you'll find that so many people love you for it. Louise Hay used to say, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. And Louise Hay was a master of simple truths. More than anything, her message was about learning to love yourself. Not someday, not after you fixed everything, but right now. And she proved that she could do anything. When she founded Hay House, a woman finding Hay House and a publishing house that was based on spiritual teachings. She founded it when she was 60 years old. And she may have had a lot of things running through her mind saying, well, 60 too late to do this. And she lived on 30 plus more years. So not someday after you fixed everything and it's perfect timing, but do it right now. She used to say that self-love was the foundation for all other healing. And that every time you looked in the mirror and said, I love you, part of you began to believe it. Part of you, every time you do that, will believe it. So in honor of how they blessed us with and the instructions they gave, I invite you to try something this week. Both Wayne and Louise emphasized the power of positive thinking, especially before going to sleep at night. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, used to write down a problem that she may be having or something she really wanted to bring in her life and put it under a pillow. And during sleep, all of them recognized that things can happen. So I have two opportunities for you this week. The first one is you can try spending 10 or 15 minutes before bed, focusing on a positive thought or an affirmation, and then let your subconscious carry it through the night. Or if you prefer reminders during the day, you can also say, so how do we live this out in our daily lives? Here are 3 simple prayer practices that we can try. During the day, you can try a breath prayer. Pause and breathe. You can inhale, I allow, exhale, God flows. How about Sabbath moments? Take intentional pauses to be still and remember, I am already whole. How about gratitude in advance? Instead of waiting for results, give thanks now. Gratitude is that language of allowance. And even though Myrtle and Louise and Wayne are no longer here with us, their teachings are, and they're going to be here for eons to come. They're such profound teachings. Their spirits are still here. We know that in Unity, we are eternal. We may change form, but we are always here. And I think they'd be happy knowing that we're out there doing the best to live with a little more love and a little more awareness every day. So I'm excited for us to try this out. Excited that we can take this with us. We can take these lessons with us. And excited that we have these opportunities. So as we go get ready for prepare for meditation, let's do some affirmation work. Our affirmations, I will say it, I'll call out the affirmation, and I'll be sending these out to you. And you can answer, but we're going to do it with our mics muted. Have all our mics muted. So there is no missing piece in me. Our response, I am whole, I am complete. And let's breathe in on that. Really feel it. I am whole. I am complete. I release striving and searching. I allow God's good to flow through me. Say that again. I allow God's good to flow through me. And take a breath in on that. Really feel it in every cell of your body. I am worthy of love, peace, and abundance. I am the very expression of divine wholeness. I am the very expression of divine wholeness. And together we affirm, I am whole. I am enough. And I allow God's good now. I am whole. I am enough. And I allow God's good now. And just breathe in on that and feel that. And know that these are the truths. And if you'd like to do what weekly affirmation on your own, we say this, I am whole. I am enough. And I joyfully allow God's good to flow through me. I am whole. I am enough. And I joyfully allow God's good to flow through me. As we take a nice deep breath in to prepare for meditation, we release any worry. We release any thoughts of anything but our wholeness. And we are so grateful for these teachings, these wonderful teachers who have left us this. And we're so grateful that even in the simplest, the children's books, we can find the truths. So I just invite you to close your outer eyes. You can gently place your feet on the ground if they're not. Take a deep breath. You can place your hand on your heart. Because in this missing piece, it is about love. And each breath that you take, we release the idea that anything is missing. So I invite you now just to imagine yourself as a circle, rolling freely, joyfully, unencumbered by searching. And with each inhale, we say silently, I allow. And as we exhale, we say, God flows. I allow. Exhale, God flows. I allow. God flows. And as we feel this truth anchoring in our hearts, we affirm that you are whole. You are worthy. You are enough right now. And as we move into the silence with this, we know that the spirit within you is already providing you with everything you need. As we go into the silence, I am whole. I am enough. I affirm this through every cell in my being. I am a spiritual being having this human experience. And the truth is, I have everything I will ever need. God loves me. People love me, my community, my family. I love myself. And I am worthy of good. And for this, we are so grateful. And as we pray from this experience, we do it the unity way. We see the wholeness, the completeness. For every person who is praying for healing, we already see them with every cell in their body working in perfect and complete wholeness. The truth of who they really are, with prosperity in every area of their lives and ours. And we have this inner joy that's ever renewable, that's not dependent on what's happening externally. This joy is within us. And as it rises up, it helps us find the that peace that comes from within, knowing that I am whole, I am enough, I am worthy, I am loved. And all of these teachings come from the field of love, the substance from where we come from. Anything else is illusion. And for all the teachers who came here have taught us this, the authors, the Fillmores who founded Unity Movement, to all the great masters, to Jesus, our way shower, who gave us the blueprint for this. We say thank you. And we are so grateful. And so it is.